So I'm sure as all of you know, the world is facing the coronavirus pandemic. If you don't know this, then you're probably living under a rock. Which, now that I think about it, wouldn't actually be that bad of an idea. Almost everyone right now is stuck inside their homes and are lucky enough that their biggest problem is to find something to do with all their spare time, myself included. So I decided that now would be a great time to watch a bunch of movies and do mini reviews of all of them. Welcome to the COVID-19 Quarantine Movie Review Roundup Week 1. I thought that it would be fitting to start the week off with the 2011 film Contagion, which is basically about what is happening right now. Contagion depicts what the world would look like if there was a virus outbreak that was able to kill millions of people in a single month. For some reason, there's a completely stacked cast including Matt Damon, Jude Law, Lawrence Fishburne, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Bryan Cranston to name a few. While watching this movie, the comparison to what is happening right now is kinda scary. Things like social distancing, school closures, hospitals being overwhelmed, and the difficulty in finding a vaccine are all shown. But I don't think that the scary reality of this movie should fool you into thinking that it's good. The star-studded cast that I mentioned earlier only works to hurt this movie. There are like 7 different stories all going on at the same time in what seems like an attempt to get the most use out of the massive amount of money they probably spent on this cast. It jumps from the husband of the first person to get the virus, a conspiracy theorist, someone trying to create the vaccine, someone who was kidnapped and used as ransom to get the vaccine for a village, the head of the CDC, and a military officer, and I don't even think that's all of them. The entire plot is broken up to no more than 10-minute chunks of each of these people and their stories. I understand there's a lot going on when there's a pandemic, but having so many things going on at once blurs the focus of the movie, and it just seems like it's jumping from character to character the entire time. Contagion also lacks any truly meaningful or moving social commentary, which I think a movie like this should really have. It only really says anything until the last quarter of the movie, where we get to see things like riots and a draft-like lottery selection for choosing who gets the vaccine. The only story that we follow from someone that isn't either a doctor or a world leader is through Matt Damon and his daughter. It felt a little annoying to see the only story of a normal person be a white teenager whose biggest struggle during the outbreak is that she can't see her boyfriend because of the quarantine. I mean, the movie ends with her and her boyfriend finally being able to have their own prom in her house. If that had happened any time sooner in the movie, I would immediately turn it off because I don't care about first world problems in a pandemic. I think Contagion could have been a lot better if they cut down on the amount of characters and followed someone who felt the effects of people screwing up at the top. I'm going to give this movie a frowny face because the acting is nothing special and the story kinda sucks. After that, I rewatched Parasite, and I don't think I have anything else to add that has not been said by millions of other people and every single movie critic on YouTube. Parasite is an amazing film that borders near perfection. Every single scene and every single line has some sort of importance to this movie, and there's no time wasted at all. At no point in its runtime do I feel bored or that anything I'm watching is unnecessary. This is a truly amazing film and deserving of all its praise. I'm giving this a big smiley face. The last movie I'm going to talk about for this week is Duel by Steven Spielberg. It came out in 1971 and it was his first feature-length film. The entire premise of this movie is that a man driving on a business trip is terrorized by a tank truck that tries to kill him and follows him everywhere. This is probably the most minimalist and simple story that you will see from Steven Spielberg in his entire career. But just because it's a simple movie by no means makes it a bad one. Duel is a gripping thriller that has you on the edge of your seat the entire time. You never know where the truck is going to be next, or if the protagonist will ever escape it, or if he'll get killed. It's an hour and a half of pure action with cool driving stunts and near-death experiences. My favorite parts of this movie are the cinematography and the score. There are just so many cool shots that put you into the action of the scene. It's also used as a tool to make the truck more mysterious and menacing. A lot of shots of the truck are filmed angled up to give it a bigger appearance than it already has. I also love the score for Duel. It's used very sparingly, but when it's there it adds so much to the scene. It's a mix of orchestral music, but there's also some weird untraditional stuff thrown in. I've seen Duel be compared to Jaws. Both movies feature something trying to kill someone the entire time, but in Duel we never actually see the truck driver. The most we get to see of him is his arm and his boots. The truck driver is mysterious and has no clear motive for wanting to kill the businessman. In Jaws it's a shark, and we know that it's a shark. The unknown aspects of Duel make it even more thrilling and captivating to its audience. I really like Duel and I'm going to give this one a big smiley face. Well, that's going to be it for this week, and I may or may not be making another one next week. Give me some suggestions for movies to watch and review for the next time I do this in the comment section. Remember to stay inside and wash your hands.